I honestly just want to see what my face looks like at the moment because I feel like it looks really tired. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for being here. It's currently Christmas Day today and I spent today at the beach reflecting and doing this process myself. So I know it's past Christmas if you guys are watching this, but Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a beautiful Christmas with your family and friends. And if you don't celebrate, I hope you had a lovely holiday season. I don't celebrate and I worked and it was lovely, and we had food at the hospital. It was so nice, and then obviously the weather was gorgeous, so I took myself to the beach and it's just a lovely day. So yeah, really grateful for that time off. Today's video is actually really impromptu. I just felt a really strong urge to do it, so I thought maybe it might help one of you guys. So I actually had something else planned to release this week. I went through the process of doing this myself and then I thought, you know what, this might help someone else out there. So if you're watching this and you're getting anything out of it, I'm really glad it might be made for you. Today's video is about reflecting on 2022 and setting your intentions for 2023. I'm not really going to go through my own reflections for the year, but I thought I might go through the process that I do when I do reflect on the year. Before I actually start on what I actually do, I usually go to a spot that gives me clarity and gives me a really clear mind. So for me, that's the beach. I go to the beach. I go to the beach to listen to the waves, to reflect on anything that I want to, a walk on the sand, touching the water. It just makes me feel really grounded. That could be anywhere for you. It could even be at home, but for me, it's out in nature and at the beach. I actually did that today. I literally got it home feeling really good and I thought I'll share this with you. I wanted to record this at the beach, but I completely forgot that there's wind and there was actually people playing music at the beach as well, so it didn't really work out that way. A lot of people who do say to use multiple different books for your different reflections, a different book for your scripting, different book for your manifesting or your affirmations, a different book for your reflections, goals and things like that. I use the one book. I do it at the same time. Well, everything that I do in terms of reflecting, journaling, scripting, I do it at the same time in the morning, and this one kind of just like stays beside me on that little bedside table there, and it I guess just holds everything. I'm extremely forgetful and I didn't want to have multiple different books for different things and feel overwhelmed, so I just use the one book. When I finish this book, I'll just get another one and start doing the same thing with that. So I just use this book today to reflect on 2022 and set my intentions for 2023. In terms of what I do to reflect on 2022, I normally start with the highlights of the year. This is where I write about things that I am proud of, my achievements, things that have kind of taken fruition, moments that sparked joy for me. I also write down how I'm feeling about those things, and I try to make the process not so formula. I guess I allow my mind to go wherever it wants when it comes to this, because that's how I can really pull out how I'm feeling about things. For example, one of the things that I did write about is getting halfway through my MBA. So for me, I felt like that was a massive achievement in the year, when at one point I didn't really think that I was even going to be doing masters. To be halfway through it, it's a massive thing for me. So that was something that I reflected on. I reflected on how it was definitely a struggle, especially in the second half, to get through. I also reflected on how proud I am of myself of getting there, and how there were times that I did have to be kind to myself and cancel different things to prioritize what I wanted to prioritize. The MBA, it also makes me super excited to see what's to come for 2023, because obviously I'm going into the second year of studying. The units are a lot more in line with what I want to do, so I'm really excited for it. I also like to try and categorize my reflections on the different things that are important to me, categorize into different areas of my life. So family and friends, potentially side hustles, your main career, and for me a big thing was personal development and healing as well. I kind of categorized into those different areas and I talked about how I was feeling with my growth in all of those areas. I thought I would ask you guys a question. I'd love to hear in the comments section, if you guys are comfortable sharing, 2 things you guys are proud of that you've achieved this year. It doesn't have to be a material thing that you've achieved. It could be that you've cultivated a quality or a habit or something took fruition that you're really proud of and excited for. Anything, but I'd love to hear 2 things that have made you feel proud this year. Then I move on to my lowlights. Lowlights here mean things like your disappointments and your frustrations, or things that made you upset in the year, things that you may have handled but you might have wanted to handle them better. I also try to look at how I handled situations and whether I was really proud of the way I handled it, even if it was a struggle or a difficult situation, or whether there was a lesson in that and I could have done something better. This process I find is actually really tough. You really need to set some time aside aside to sit there and really think about how you're feeling around everything and take time to do it. And this is why I find going out to a spot where you can kind of be quiet and on your own really help. For example, if a certain relationship or something didn't really go to plan and you're feeling a bit disappointed or upset about it, you could also reflect and think, well, you gave love a chance. Finding, I guess, what the lesson is in it, or if there's no lesson, thinking about how you're actually feeling of that situation. It's a really good reflective process as well. The third part of how I reflect on the year is really setting my intentions for 2023. When I say intentions, I go with intentions rather than resolutions, because I find resolutions quite limiting. I feel like resolutions kind of set you up for failure because you have a certain thing that you need to achieve potentially every day or whatever it is, and if you don't get there, it's harder to be kind on yourself. But if you set intentions, I just think it's a kinder way of setting yourself up to succeed because you're trying to cultivate something. And I find when setting intentions, rather than being very like goal specific, like I want to achieve this by this time and day, whatever, cultivating the qualities and the habits of the ideal version of you that you want to create, that's what works for me. As I've grown older, I've also realized that my intentions are more in line with a certain mindset I want to cultivate and certain qualities I want to cultivate, as opposed to certain things I want to achieve. And all of my intentions seem to be more internal than anything else. A good way to think about intentions, I think, is thinking about the best version of yourself. So really envisioning and visualizing that best version of yourself that you can envision, and think about what that person does, how that person behaves, how that person responds to situations, what kind of habits that person cultivates every day, and think about those things to then set your intention. It means that you can take inspired action every single day to work towards that ideal version of yourself. I do find that this is an ongoing process. It's not something that you can just do once and set it aside, but it is really good to do at the end of the year and then reflect on, the year that's been, and then setting yourself up for the year that's coming. I know New Year's, it's just a construct of time, but I do find it's a good time to reset and reflect. The last thing I do after I kind of do this process, or after I have any sort of reflective time and I do need to take some time for myself, I give myself some time to rest. I find that this stuff can actually be really, really challenging and really forces you to dig deep in your mind. So I do give myself some time to rest, and I would encourage you to do the same if you are doing this process. Give yourself some time to just sit there, take it all in, or read a book before you go back to doing everything else that you are doing. One thing I've learned is the path of healing and self-discovery is honestly exhausting. I find that I actually need so much more time on my own, just doing things that fill my cup because I need to. I hope you found this video useful and helpful, and I hope you could get something out of it. And let me know if you use this process or a different process to reflect on your year and think about what you want to achieve for 2023. I hope this process also makes you feel excited for what's to come in 2023, because I'm so excited. I just feel it. I feel like there's big things coming. I don't know what those big things are, but I just feel like it's going to be a big year for a lot of us. So I'm really excited. I hope you are too. I hope you had a beautiful Christmas with your family and friends. It would mean the world to me if you could like, comment and subscribe. There are a few questions I asked in this video, so if you want to answer those questions, I'd love to hear what you guys are proud of in 2022 and what you're looking forward to in 2023. And I will see you in the next video. Sending you all so much love and positivity and just excitement for the new year.